This is the chemical reactions test. Please pause the video after each question is read until you have done your best and used your best test-taking skills to answer. If at any time you need to re-listen to a question, just pause and rewind the video. Question number 1. According to the law of conservation of matter, which statement about chemical reactions is true? A. Energy is created as atoms are destroyed in chemical reactions. B. Atoms are created by some reactions and destroyed by others. C. Every atom destroyed in a chemical reaction must be replaced. Or D. Atoms cannot be created or destroyed by chemical reactions. Question number 2. Substance A and substance B were dissolved in 2 separate 100 milliliter beakers of water. Each started at a temperature of 25.1 degrees Celsius. The mixture's temperatures were measured and recorded as shown in the table below. Substance A's initial temperature was 25.1 degrees Celsius, and the final temperature was 30.2 degrees Celsius. Substance B had an initial temperature of 25.1 degrees Celsius and a final temperature of 20.0 degrees Celsius. Which statement is a correct interpretation of the data? A. Only the dissolving of substance A absorbed heat. B. The dissolving of substance A released heat and the dissolving of substance B absorbed heat. C. The dissolving of substance B released heat and the dissolving of substance A absorbed heat. Or D. Only the dissolving of substance B released heat. Question 3. Pure sodium metal explodes when it makes contact with water, and chlorine, in its natural state, is a deadly poisonous gas. When these two chemicals combine, they form a harmless white powder known as sodium chloride, or table salt. Which of the following statements does this information support? A. The properties of substances change during chemical reactions, but then later go back to their original condition. B. When substances are chemically combined, the properties of the new substances that are formed are the same as the properties of the original substances. C. When substances are chemically combined, the properties of the new substances that are formed are often different from the properties of the original substances. Or D. Heat must be added in order to change the chemical properties of substances. Question 4. Which statement describes a change that occurs during a chemical reaction? A. The atoms in a substance start to move faster until they are no longer touching each other. B. The atoms in a substance change their properties so that they can become a new substance. C. Atoms in the original substances are changed into different atoms to make new substances. Or D. Atoms in the original substances are arranged in a different way to make new substances. Number 5. Consider the chemical reaction represented below. Which of the following statements about this reaction is true? A. The reaction releases oxygen. B. The reaction releases heat. C. Heat is absorbed by the reaction. Or D. The reaction consumes water. Number 6. A solution of hydrochloric acid is placed on a balance. Magnesium metal is added to and the mass is recorded. The solution is stirred and the mass of the solution is recorded every 10 minutes. The following data is collected. At 0 minutes at the beginning of the reaction, there is 160 grams of mass. After 10 minutes, the mass is 156.5 grams. After 20 minutes, the mass is 152 grams. After 30 minutes, the mass is 147.5 grams. And after 40 minutes, the mass is 142.5 grams. What does the data show is occurring? A. The hydrochloric acid and magnesium metal do not react. B. The hydrochloric acid and magnesium metal react to form a soluble compound. C. The hydrochloric acid and magnesium metal react to form a precipitate. Or D. The hydrochloric acid and magnesium metal react to form a gas. Number 7. Ethanol contains the elements carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. When ethanol burns, it chemically reacts with oxygen gas. What elements will be present in the substances that are created when ethanol burns? A. Nitrogen, sulfur, and sodium only will be present in the new substances. B. Carbon and hydrogen only will be present in the new substances. C. The elements cannot be determined. Or D. Carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen only will be present in the new substances. Number 8. When iron reacts with oxygen, it forms iron oxide or rust. If 112 grams of iron combines with 24 grams of oxygen, how much iron oxide is formed? A. 112 grams of iron oxide. B. 24 grams of iron oxide. C. 136 grams of iron oxide. Or D. 88 grams of iron oxide. Number 9. In a chemical reaction, the reactants are substances that undergo the reaction, and the products are substances that are formed during the reaction. The table below shows the reactants and products of several different chemical reactions. Take a minute to look over the reactants and the products of each reaction. Notice that each reaction is labeled as whether it is an exothermic or endothermic reaction. Based on the information given in the table above, the best definition of an endothermic reaction would be A. A reaction that has one product. B. A reaction that releases heat. C. A reaction that absorbs heat. Or D. A reaction that does not require heat. Number 10. Copper is added to a solution of nitric acid. The solution becomes hot and changes from colorless to dark blue. What is the best explanation for the change in temperature? A. The increased volume of the solution causes heat to be released. B. The chemical reaction between the copper and the nitric acid produces heat. C. The blue color absorbs less energy, which causes heat to be released. Or D. The copper and nitric acid repel each other, which produces heat. Number 11. A chemist who studies water samples did a demonstration of how to test for lead in water. She added a clear solution of potassium iodide to a clear solution of lead nitrate. Then a yellow swirling solid formed in the liquid. What is most likely true about the yellow solid? A. It was secretly added to the test tube by the scientist. B. It is a new substance with different properties. C. It is solid lead nitrate. Or D. It is solid potassium iodide. Number 13. Explain why all chemical reactions require activation energy. You need to write a complete sentence explaining what the purpose of activation energy in a reaction is. What does it do? Number 14. Macy has been studying physical and chemical reactions in school. She read about chemical reactions and how overall energy is either absorbed or released. Which word describes the direction of heat flow illustrated in the picture? Look at the arrows on the lantern. A, chemical. B, endothermic. C, exothermic. Or D, physical. For number 15, you need to circle one term in each box to make the sentence a true statement. After studying chemical reactions in school, Jose knew that when oxygen and hydrogen gases combine in the correct amounts, the combination yields a new substance, water. Choose the words to correctly complete the sentence. Your choices in each box are products, synthetic, reactants, polymers. The hydrogen and oxygen are what? While the water is the Number 17. After learning about the law of conservation of mass, Remy began to wonder about how to best test the law. She wanted to show that the amounts of matter did not change, but produced an equal amount of new matter. What is the best way to study this law? A. She should use a homogeneous mixture. B. She should use an open system. C. She should use a closed system. Or D. She should use a heterogeneous mixture. Number 18. Use the equation provided to complete all three parts of this question. Sammy used the law of conservation of mass to balance the reaction between aluminum and silver tarnish to produce pure silver and an aluminum sulfide solution. The equation that he wrote is shown. The reaction that he recorded is a synthesis, decomposition, or replacement reaction. Circle the correct term to make the statement true. Use the same equation for the chemical reaction to complete the reactant product table for the equation that Sammy wrote. Fill in each box to make the table complete. Finally, the equation that Sammy wrote is balanced or unbalanced. Circle the correct term to make the statement true. Number 19. Natural and synthetic materials are both used to manufacture products for humans to use and consume. Natural materials can be grown and harvested or mined in the case of petroleum oil. Where do synthetic materials come from? Write a complete sentence to answer this question. Number 20. Robert wanted to learn more about synthetic materials that are used to produce the foods that he buys at the grocery store. He did some research to learn why companies would choose to use synthetic ingredients rather than natural ones. List one advantage of using synthetic ingredients in foods.